Tell us about the new pieces that are on here.
There's two new pieces on. One called Rocky, the Legacy, and another one called Cyril. And these are really important pieces to me. They were written in a specific way as well. I'm heavily involved with saving the wonderful moon bear from the horrendous bear bile farms in China, where they are horrendously and cruelly chained up from birth, have their bile taken out of them, and they just basically rot until they die, and then they're replaced. It's just horrendous. And I'm part of a charity. I'm an ambassador for Animals Asia. We've saved over 600 bears, and they're in a wonderful sanctuary in Chengdu. You can't send them back to the wild because they don't know what it is, but they have the most wonderful time. And one of the first bears that was heavily influenced people for Animals Asia was a bear called Rocky that had the most terrible life and was saved, but unfortunately couldn't save her in the end, and Rocky died. And I wrote this piece of music for Rocky, which also works. It has some narration. The great actor Peter Egan does some narration for it because they perform it at fundraising functions in various places. So I did that, and I wrote that about 2 years ago, and I've always wanted to record it properly and put it on. So this seemed like the real right time to do that. And I have my own moon bear called Cyril, named after my father. And Cyril was a wonderful bear, horrendously treated and beaten. And when we got Cyril, he was blind, had cataracts, he had a broken leg, he's losing his hair. And Cyril was quite a special bear because we had they looked after him, they got his sight back, mended his leg, and amazingly his hair started growing again. Now moon bears are very noticeable because they have a crest, a moon crest under their necks, and they're black with it. And Cyril's hair started growing again, and it grew black blonde, and that freaked everybody out at China because they knew he was my bear. And there was pictures of me standing with a picture of Cyril with the blonde hair, and so he became quite a magic bear, Cyril. But one of the sad things that happens with their ill treatment before we get hold of them is they have terrible liver and kidney failure because of how they're treated and what happens to them. And we lost Cyril at the beginning of the year, which absolutely devastated myself and my wife. And she said, write him a piece of music. And I went in, the day after he died, I went in, and on my piano, my music room, I put 2 pictures of Cyril. And I always, it's old-fashioned, but I still have an old cassette recorder. And I pressed record, and I wrote Cyril. And I went back the following day to have a listen to see whether it still stood up or whether it was just an emotional musical crisis that had happened. And I really, really liked it. I changed a couple of notes, that was all. And I actually played it to my wife. So what do you think of this? She said, that's Cyril. So we went in and recorded it, and that's gone on the album as well.